a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play. So hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
Welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most late fees, Shay Baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds. And you're listening to Blockbuster Wives.
Dig it up,
Yeah.
dig it up,
Yeah. Welcome to the second installment of Cody Cooketember.
Hell yeah. Happy Cody Cooketember, you guys. We're so excited for the second installment. Cody really picked a great lineup. Like,
yeah,
truly.
and just if this is your first time visiting Cody Cooketember, the idea is that our day one of two Patreon subscribers, Cody Cook, gets a whole month for being such a baddie.
Hell
and
yeah.
he picked all of the movies you're going to be hearing this month.
Yeah, and also the theme song, you might have noticed, it's not us.
A little different.
It's a wee different. Love this version, by the way.
It's so pretty.
We now have 3 different versions of our song.
And Cody did 2 of them.
And again, if any of y'all want to make a version of this song, please, like, I don't care how much of an amateur you are or how much of an expert you are. We want to hear it, baby.
It could be like xylophone, recorder, children's maracas. Like, we do not care. Just record a little something and
like,
send it our way.
Even the Anna Kendrick, like, cup song, if you did some, like, copping on
Something
cups.
cool.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
We really would. We genuinely would. But, yeah, Cody's just been such a big support system for us. So we just wanted to pay him a thank you by giving him a whole month. And for some reason, we landed on September. I think we just didn't have a plan. Right?
Yeah, I think it's like there's not an obvious theme to September, and Cooketember just, it works.
Just sounds right. It was right. It felt right. You know.
It is right.
It is right in our souls and everything else. But the second movie you might have guessed that Cody chose is Holes, baby.
God, this might be like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Me too.
It is so good.
It's so fucking good. Like, and it's one of the few movies where I actually read the book first.
Oh God,
like
I
Harry
was
Potter.
obsessed with the book. Upstairs right now, if you went up there, you'd see my Scholastic Book Fair copy of Holes.
Dude.
By Louis, either Sachar or Sakar. I'm not actually sure how
I
you
feel
say
like it's
it.
Sachar too.
I
think
don't know.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
I'll never look it up, so.
I mean, we don't give a
So, we'll never know.
But you know, there's more artistic express. Saying it how you feel it. I think it's Sachar.
Okay, let's go with Sachar.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. And that was the first thing you said. So, we're right. Anyways, yeah, I specifically remember reading this book and being blown away. And even more blown away by the movie because it almost hit every single fucking point. Almost. Not quite, but like almost there.
And honestly, I'm not going to say that the movie is better than the book, but I think this is a rare example where the movie is as good as the book.
Even being like a little different.
Yes.
Just as good.
Because I think it highlighted and emphasized different things, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. But still had the same overall message, the same overall twist where you're just like,
yes,
wait, what the fuck?
wait, and all the different narratives coming together at the end.
Yeah.
Like, and I always say this about Harry Potter. I love, I mean, I hate so many things about J.K. Rowling now.
Fuck you, J.K.
But I used to say without reservation that I like that J.K. Rowling trusted children and their imagination and their minds to be able to comprehend things that other children publication people would be like, that's too complicated, that's too much, it's a kid's book, dumb it down. And I feel like she had faith and it paid off. And I feel the same way with Holes. Like, it's asking a lot of a young reader, but boy, does it pay off.
Oh, it sure does. And yeah, like, kids are not dumb. We can make, or I'm saying we, like, we're kids now. We did, and kids do, make connections without having it to be, like, super fucking written out for them, you know? Like, they're smart, and they can, like, figure shit out. So, yeah, he did a great job with that, and unfortunately, she did a great job with that, even though she sucks. Like, truly. And if you don't understand why she sucks, I don't know how
Just
you can
look
be
up
fans of
TERFs and know she's one of them, and we do not like it.
No.
N-O-W.
No, she's a fucking loser. But anyway, should we jump right into corporate bullshit?
Yeah, let's do it. All right,
Let's
everybody.
do this.
Here's that theme.
Corporate bullshit.
Some bullshit.
So Holes is a 2003 American neo-Western comedy drama film directed by Andrew Davis, who also, he was like mostly known for like action films. And the reason why he jumped into this one is because he's like, I think I can do a really good job of this movie, and I don't want to just do fucking big action films. So, and I think he did a fucking
Yeah, that's
kick-ass
interesting.
job.
I would never have guessed that this came from an action background. I would have thought like a Western background, maybe.
Right. But no, he did like The Fugitive, Collateral Damage,
Whoa.
like big.
Nice.
Yeah, like those types of movies where it's like, whoa, like lots of guns, lots of explosions type shit. And then he's like, I want to prove I don't just do that. And then jumped into Holes, which is like random. And I think this is the only movie of his that's like this.
Oh,
you know?
cool.
So pretty fucking cool. And he chose a good one. It was released April 11th, 2003. And I'm also going to
Awesome.
bring up a movie that was released on the exact same day. You guys will know why. Anger Management.
Okay, I feel like this was a big conversation amongst reviewers and fans.
Oh, and I will bring it up in a
Oh,
mere moment. But yeah, and it's 117 minutes. So a
I
little
mean,
over
2
time.
hours, but it does fly by.
It really, yeah. It's one of my favorite movies too, for sure. Their budget was $20 million, and the box office was $71.4 million.
Very nice.
So they did a pretty good job at that. And then it's also starring, I mean,
Stacked. Weirdly stacked.
very weirdly,
Like, what?
like very odd, like
For $20 million, too, like,
yeah,
dang.
yeah. Sigourney Weaver,
Oh, God, she's so good in this.
so fucking good. John Voight, aka Angelina
I was
Jolie's
just about to
dad.
say, Angelina Jolie's daddy.
I was watching it with
Who's
my
now a
little
crazy Trumper.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
He kind
apparently.
of seems like
I know, he does kind of have that look about him.
He does have that energy. He has that weird
Especially
smell.
as Mr. Sir.
You can smell him through the fucking
Yes.
screen. Yeah, I was watching this with my little brother, and he was just like, "It's weird that Angelina Jolie is half of him." And I was like, "But have you seen her mom? Because she looks
Right.
just like her fucking mom." Yeah, and then of course Patricia Arquette. Oh,
Who I always got confused with Jewel when I was a kid.
dude, they look so similar.
And they've got like a similar smile, and like, I feel like their voices are kind of similar.
You know what? I never made the connection, but yeah, they're very similar. Tim Blake Nelson and Shia LaBeouf, so obviously like huge all-star cast, like crazy, like so fucking good. I forgot to look up the Rotten Tomatoes, so let me look that up right now. But I already looked up the Ebert.
Oh,
I'll tell you that in a
I'm at the edge of my seat to see what our boy said.
Okay, let's see. So for Holes, it looks like, okay, so Tomatometer 78%.
Okay, so I think that's the critic score.
Yeah, critic score 78, and then audience score 76. I think this might be the closest.
Oh,
that we've ever
weird. And
gotten.
usually audience is higher.
Yeah,
So it's odd that the audience is a smidge lower in this situation.
yeah, very weird. But this is also like the closest I think those two have been.
Yeah,
before.
they're like nearly identical.
Yeah, very, very strange. Okay, now let me get to Ebert because I think it's very interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh wait, also I have a couple fun facts to add. Really
Okay,
quick.
cool.
Okay, so where is it? This is one of my favorite fun facts. So for the yellow spotted lizards, 14 bearded dragons were used, 4 of which were used for the main parts, and the rest used as, quote, background atmosphere lizards.
Oh my god, an atmosphere lizard fest.
Dude, atmosphere lizards, so fucking funny.
I love how they had to hire like a lizard wrangler who was probably like, no offense, lizard people, pretty strange.
You already know he had a weird neck beard. He had like a long straight ponytail that was super great. Like I already know.
Listen, we support reptile enthusiasts,
Hell yeah.
but I think we can all admit, there's a personality there.
There's a very specific look and personality to lizard wranglers.
Especially when you own more than 5 lizards, I'd say that's when it starts to really become a thing.
Especially when there's like stars out of the 14. No, these 4 are the best. It's like how do you
These
rank
ones
them?
are gonna shine.
this one's gonna be a star. Like, how
He's
do
like,
you?
fuck that one. Put him in the back.
Like, that one's a
sucks.
bitch. I don't get it. Okay. Roger Ebert rated this 3.5 stars.
Whoa. Good
And I have some
for
quotes.
him.
I have some quotes that are actually great.
Okay.
So, Holes jumps the rails, leaves all expectations behind, and tells a story that's not funny ha-ha, but funny peculiar. I found it original and intriguing. It'll be a change after dumbed-down one-level family stories, but a lot of kids in the upper grades will have read the book, and no doubt their younger brothers and sisters have had it explained to them. If you doubt the novel's Harry Potter-like penetration into the youth culture, ask a 7th grader who Armpit is. Which I was like, fuck yeah. So true. And then he said, I walked in expecting a movie for 13-somethings and walked out feeling challenged and satisfied. Curious how much more grown-up and sophisticated Holes is than anger management.
Wow. I mean, we do know that Roger Ebert has zero love for Adam Sandler.
And I love anger management, so I'm like, of fucking course he had to add this in when I'm liking him. Like, when I like him, like, wait a minute.
But fuck Adam Sandler.
The tables are turning, and then I'm like, why the fuck did he bring this up? And then I looked it up, and I was like, okay, they were released on the exact same day.
I don't remember anger management that well.
It's so good.
I
Jack
only saw
Nicholson.
it once, and I do remember like being like, I don't think this will be a rewatch for me.
I
Like
love it.
other Sandler movies.
I will say, though, it might have something to do with the fact that there's, like, 2 hot girls making out throughout, like, a big
you're
part
like,
of the movie. And I was like, yeah, for some reason I want to watch this over
You're like,
and
this
over
will get
again."
rewatch value for sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was like, they're yelling too much.
I get that. But also, the Adam Sandler yell is
I like Adam
classic.
Sandler yell. I do not like Jack Nicholson yell. Maybe because I saw The Shining too young, but I was like, he's scary.
He's scary and hot. Like, he's even hot in this movie. He deserves it. And also, Marissa Tomei.
Oh, I forgot she's in it.
She can get it.
Every single outfit in My Cousin Vinny. I'm like, give it to me. Give it to me
I,
now.
I just watched that movie like a couple months ago for the first
You
time.
a lover of Italian culture?
I know.
What?
I couldn't believe.
You loved it, right?
I fucking loved it, baby. I fucking loved it. And she's so good in it.
She's amazing.
She's so good in everything.
She always just looks fierce.
She's
in that
so
movie.
fine. She's somehow more fine now. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. She's so
incredible.
bad.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's like my number. Well, her and like Zoe Kravitz.
Oh yeah.
At any time, any day. You know what I'm saying?
You heard it here first, folks. I can't even talk. I'm so flustered.
You also heard it here, folks. I'm just saying. All right. But yeah, that's it for Corporate Bull. But
Okay, I do want to start off with, did this movie radicalize me into my current job?
I was about to bring that
yes.
up. Oh my god.
For any of you who don't know, I'm a criminal defense attorney, which
Hell yeah.
means that I don't love the system.
I mean, she's a bad bitch, literally.
And watching this movie, I was like overwhelmed with how much it nails penal institutions in so many ways that I wasn't expecting. But now that I've had, ongoing relationships with people who are incarcerated, I'm like, whoa, they got so many things. In fact, I listed them out.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
do
I would
not
love,
mind.
I would love for you to elaborate on
About prisons specifically. And I'll just say, taking a step back, not even just prison conditions, this movie tackles racism. This movie tackles the juvenile justice system, wrongful incarceration, for-profit prisons, and bad prison conditions, which I was most struck by. So it gets into the dehumanization of prisons and just how you are stripped of your identity and you are treated subhuman. Like immediately, because you must be there for a reason because you're bad.
Yeah.
The constant fear of death and or peril. Like in the
Straight
movie,
up.
it's the lizards. But I think it could be read as like a metaphor for like the dangers of being in prison.
At any turn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like just a constant background fear.
You're like always looking over your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never being comfortable. That's a big thing that incarcerated people feel. Like you will just never be able to fully chill.
Yeah.
Related to the fear. Always lonely but trying to hide it. Like when he's writing to his mom and he's like, oh, I love summer camp. It's so fun.
That broke
Like trying
my
to protect
heart.
people. Like you see incarcerated people do that a lot. Like, oh no, it's fine. I'm doing fine. Everything's fine. When everything is not fine.
Yeah, like the opposite of fucking fine.
Ooh, this one was dark. The whole like work will set you free idea. Yeah. Which if y'all don't know, that was literally written above a concentration camp in Poland.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dachau. I think it's Dachau.
Yeah.
Above the gates it said in German, work will set you free.
Jesus Christ.
holes basically went there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so brilliant that they did.
Yes.
Like, people need to know.
Yeah, because they say a lot of things that are still accepted in juvenile justice. The idea of like, oh, you take a bad boy, make him dig holes, he turns into a good boy. Like, we have camps where kids work.
Like,
and
physical, manual
rear
labor.
horses and clear brush and do like demanding physical labor. Like, we still have that.
Yeah.
And this idea that that's somehow going to like cleanse and purify them.
So, like, free labor, cool.
Yeah. Generational trauma and the effects and how it lands people in bad situations.
Oh, that's such a good one.
This one was like pretty fanciful, but I think again could be a metaphor for less fanciful ways that our families affect our behavior. Cover-ups by prisons, like when they're discussing their whole plan to make Zero disappear and like how they're gonna move the papers around. I was like, prisons do that.
Yeah.
I've had, well, not personally, but I've had situations where clients have died and they don't tell the family for weeks.
Because they're just like,
Oh, well, the families don't find out. They're supposed to like notify certain people, but sometimes they just don't. And it's like, who's gonna hold them accountable? Nobody.
It's so fucking gross.
The nicknames and hierarchy, I was like, oh my god, that is such a prison thing. Like, no one knows each other's real names.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll have clients be like, oh, did you talk to blah blah? And I'm like, who? And they're like, I actually don't know his real name. And I'm like, well, I don't know who you're talking about because I only know their real names.
Like, I'm not gonna know, like,
Exactly.
napkin. Like, I don't know who napkin
I'm
is.
like, yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, if you've been there longer, you get more cred, period. And in fact, in the Nevada system, you like, they know like what are the earlier, they call them NDOC numbers. So if you have like an early NDOC number, they know you're like an old timer. And they'll even be like, I'm not going to have a 6-digit NDOC number tell me blah, 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 because they're new and I've been here since there were 4 digits. Like,
That's wild.
yeah.
That is so wild. Because then I'm sure if they find out their number, they're like, okay, I need to treat them with more respect. They've been here longer.
And everything you do is by your number. It's pretty fucked up.
Which again, is like
concentration camp shit.
Wow.
Yeah, like everything. Like anytime I send my clients a letter, I have to put their number on it because they will not deliver it to them if I do not.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Couple more things.
This is brilliant. This is crazy, by the way.
I know. That's why I was like watching this movie. I was like, this is nuts. Like, they truly nailed it.
Yeah.
The crushing of any dissent. So this idea that any little bit of rebellion or not listening will be crushed immediately and brutally.
Yeah.
The absolute corrupting nature of power. And I also thought it was interesting that you see in this film, I think, something that I think is true, that it's almost like the people at the very top are less cruel than the people below them.
Like Sigourney.
Right. Like they have a buffer.
Yeah.
So Sigourney Weaver, like, she often is much nicer to the campers.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't care. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fill up their canteens.
Give them more
Who
water.
gives a fuck? Yeah.
Right. But it's that middle management who is like very cruel.
Yeah.
And like, you know, carrying out the wishes. But in like oftentimes more brutal manner.
Which he was. They were both very brutal.
Oh yeah, and then the last 2 things, motivating people with very simple pleasures. Like when you take away everything from somebody, like double shower tokens are like
token.
Wow, we get double showered. Like
And a
that shit
snack.
works. And a snack. Like, and it works because they don't have anything.
Yeah, so that seems like fucking gold.
Right, so it's very easy to motivate people to do things for on the cheap when they don't have anything.
And you seem like a god when you're offering it to them, which is so gross. That's horrible.
And then the last and very important lesson is that everyone has a breaking point. Enter 0.
Yeah.
You can only push people so much.
Especially when you're like absolutely degrading them, verbally abusing them consistently beyond the already horrible conditions that they have to bear with. Like,
right. And so people will be like, we'll just make prisons worse and people will like learn to act right or whatever. It's like, okay, you can say that as an abstract, but the reality is if you push people too much, they will act out. They just, it's a natural human thing.
Yeah. In like violent ways.
Yes.
And it's like
that's
totally
why we have prison
understandable.
riots. It's not that they're just like, I'm bored. It's usually because they're starving and they've been overworked and dehumanized, and yeah, shit's gonna pop off possibly.
Yeah.
That is the reality.
And it makes complete sense if you're not treating them like a fucking human being and giving them basic human decency, and like obviously they're gonna be like, well, I have nothing to fucking lose, so fuck them.
Right. So all of these things in the quote-unquote children's movie holes that I was like, they nailed this. In fact, I was so amazed by this that I emailed Louis Satcher.
You did?
To be like, did you work with a prison expert?
Yeah.
And he did go to law school.
Oh.
So I was like, did you do a juvenile justice clinic? Like,
yeah.
You fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
And I tried looking on the internet, and I couldn't really find anything beyond, like, he knows about the legal system because he was a lawyer. And I'm like, okay, but, like, you could be a lawyer and do boring contract stuff and not know any of this.
Yeah.
So, like, how did he know all this?
I hope he gets back to you. Oh, my
I know,
God.
no response as of now.
But it's only been, what, a couple days, probably?
Yeah, like
Okay.
2 days.
Oh, my God.
Get back to me.
If he gets back to Stacy, bruh, holy shit. We'll definitely keep you guys updated.
And I'll be like, do an interview on my podcast. We love you.
Okay. You know what? I was thinking about this.
Shay's got that crazy look in her eyes.
Unrelated. We need to get Nicolas Cage on here.
Yes.
So
If anyone has
serious.
any Nicolas Cage hookups, let us know.
Yeah, I'm gonna find someone who knows his email or some shit, and I'm gonna.
Hell yeah.
I feel like he would do it. Like, I really think he would. And I
think
bet
he
he lives
would.
around here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not around here.
Hey,
He lives in the town.
you never know.
He lives in the city. I think I heard he lives in Spanish Hills. In like a sprawling mansion. Which is not very
I guess that makes sense. But still, fucking okay. Anyways, beyond that.
Yeah,
would be
so that
cool.
was my whole salvo on how this movie radicalized me and probably informs what I do today.
That is so fucking cool, and I never would have like. I did make a bit of that connection. I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask Stacy about like these working conditions and shit, because I feel like she has a lot to say. But holy shit, that's.
And another tangent I can go on to, which Paris Hilton, of all people, kind of broke open.
Yes,
is like the quote-unquote troubled teen industry, which is related. Usually people go through the troubled teen industry as a way of escaping actual penal institutions. Yeah. But they're also crazy and damaging, and kids, like, die.
Literally die.
They die trying to escape them sometimes. Like, they're horrible.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, she put out a whole documentary on YouTube, I believe. So if you guys want to check that out, you really should, because I learned so much about her. I've always loved her, but this made me love her and understand her on a way deeper level than I did before. Highly recommend it. I think it's called This Is Paris or something. I can't remember, but it's on YouTube.
Right.
Red.
Yeah, and I just invite you to think about what we miss when we label children, people as bad, and then stop caring about what happens to them.
Right.
Because they're bad. Because that is where all this stuff starts.
Oh, yeah. A lot of, yeah, it all comes from labeling a child and then being like, okay, well, they're bad and there's nothing that we can do. So,
right, so they're therefore less than human, and we can treat them the way we wouldn't treat a dog.
Right. Yeah. It's fucking horrible, and, yeah, I do recommend that documentary, Hardcore. You've watched it, right?
I haven't watched it. I listened to a podcast about somebody who was also in the troubled teen industry, and then he talked a little about it. Like, thank God Paris Hilton's doing this stuff, because this kid was in it for like 7 years or something, like crazy.
Yeah, she like really catapulted it, and she's doing a lot of work for them, which is so fucking cool. And they do cover that a lot in the documentary, and it also goes over like what she's had to deal with since. Like, she can never get a full night's sleep. Because they come in, so, you know, like, your parents basically approve of this, right? And there's 2 giant strange men that come into your house, take you out of your bed in the middle of the night so you feel like you're being kidnapped, and your parents are just sitting there watching, which is like worst nightmare shit. And she still cannot have a good night's sleep because she has that nightmare every single fucking night. Like, she relives that over and over and over again. And how the fuck could she not?
Yeah, and people think like, oh, you're gonna scare them straight. That is like literally not how the brain works.
No.
When the brain is scared and is in serious bodily peril,
Forever.
you remember that forever.
Yeah.
And you do not grow from it.
No, like,
It's something you have to overcome.
Yeah.
But it's not helpful.
No. And Paris is like I want to say she's in her 40s now. And she's still affected every fucking night, dude. And she knows, like, there's no way she's going to get in that situation again. But that's not how your brain works. Like, she's seriously...
Your brain at night is like, remember that time? Remember that time you almost died? Think about that. Don't let that happen again.
Yeah, so let's just keep thinking about it. And it's like, you really see her, like, breaking down. It is so horrible. But, like, she really highlights something that is still happening. Some fucking how. It's cruel. And it's just, like, lazy.
Yeah, it is really lazy. And again, only works with this premise if you accept that, like, some kids and people are just bad.
Right.
And they need to be corrected.
Yeah. And and Drew Barrymore also was in one too. Something really similar. Wow. And there's an interview with both of them, I think, on Drew's show, which right now I'm very disappointed in. You guys probably know why, but yeah, there's an interview.
She's bringing back her show amongst the strike, and she's like, it's bigger than me. And it's like, is it?
Yeah,
or
like,
is it just you want your show to air?
Yeah, and I'm like, and also she was like, it's out of my hands. Your name is on it, bitch. Just don't show up. Like, what are you fucking, anyway.
Yeah, stay in bed.
I don't think she's like evil or whatever, but I do think she's making a giant fucking mistake, and she's being a big dum-dum right now and being really selfish. But there is an interview with her and Paris talking about their experiences in this as well, so highly recommend that as well. And yeah, it just opened my eyes, because when you're a kid, you know, like kids that go to juvie and shit like that, and you're just like, oh well, they fucked up. And it's like, when you're an adult, you think back on it and you're like, holy fucking shit, like that is so horrible.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I feel like the people have a lot of opinions on these programs and prisons in general when they have never spent a day in them.
Yeah.
And they'll just be like, oh, 10 years isn't that bad. And it's like, have you been in one?
Yeah.
Have you really thought about what that would be like?
Yeah. No. And you know what? Most of us have probably, you know, not saying I have or but most of us have like done shit that if we were in other conditions, if we were a different race, if we were in a different spot, like financially or like different levels of privilege or whatever, like it would probably get us at least in jail.
Oh yeah, we have literally all committed crimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, it's so easy for us to stand here on this side and be like, what, 5 years isn't even that much. And it's like, yeah, but they have to live in it every fucking day. Like, you can't wait 10 minutes for your fucking chicken sandwich.
Yeah, without throwing a goddamn hissy fit.
Without, yeah, being a literal cunt. But like, yeah, 5 years isn't that much. Go fuck yourself. It's horrible.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, it always comes from people who like don't know the first thing about what being in prison is actually like.
Yeah. So, great point, Stacey. That's such a cool, not cool connection, but what kind of is? I mean,
yeah, it's the first time I've watched it since getting this job.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, yo.
Yeah, he's clearly brilliant in many ways. And
so good. And I want to know like how he nailed it, or if it's just a weird cosmic great gift.
Well, I bet he'll get back to you.
I hope so.
I really hope so too.
Lewis, if you're out there,
yeah,
hit me back.
You're obviously a fan, so like, hit us back out. No, but
yeah, he's listening to this podcast before he checks his email.
He's like,
hell yeah.
That would be, dude. That's our goal. We hope that Louis Sachar becomes our #1 fan. Anyways,
it'd be beautiful.
And then we'll have Louis Sachar Timber next year. LOL. But also something they bring up immediately, if I may.
Yeah, please. No, I'm done with my speech here.
In like the very first scene, global warming is brought up.
Yes, I was like, whoa.
Like,
I think I might have wrote down that was one of the themes too. Global warming.
Fucking 2003. They like brought that up in the first scene. I'm like, Sachar is woke as fuck, dude. He's like very clearly woke. And also, Grandpa is also woke. Because he's like, don't say nothing until we talk to our lawyer.
Oh,
he was
his
like,
grandpa. I thought you meant the grandpa of, I'm tired of digging grandpa.
No.
I was like, wait, how is he woke?
He's so woke, you guys. No. Not, that's too damn
the
bad,
grandpa fucking knows. Grandpa maybe has seen the inside of a pen, and he's like,
He said it multiple times. He's like, don't say anything. Like, he does not trust these fucking cops. And I'm like, gang. Shit is hella sick. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I love the layout of this movie. They really nailed it. And I also appreciate that, and I don't think I've brought it up on this podcast before, but I feel like I had this conversation somewhat recently about the only big difference that I remember from at least the beginning of the movie is that, Shia LaBeouf's character was actually supposed to be fat when he got to the camp. I did
remember that, and I remember watching it even when it came out and being like, what? He's all scrawny.
Yeah.
But then did you read the thing, how they said it'd be too difficult?
And
I'm really glad. I think it would actually be, I think it would be hard to do.
And also, like, they shouldn't expect a child to...
Right, like, all right, Shia, now it's time to drop 20 pounds.
Yeah, like gain this much and then drop this much in this... Yeah, like, I'm so glad that they didn't do that, because that would just be...
It'd be a lot.
Horrible. Speaking of horrible work conditions, that would be, like, really cruel.
Oh, and one other thing about the beginning of the movie, not to bring it back to my
No, please do.
soapbox, but just the naivety of the mom being like, oh, if you just tell the truth, we'll be fine. And like people not realizing that this system does not necessarily care about the truth.
No,
And I don't think people realize how easy it is to be convicted or found guilty of something. Like, it could be one person saying they saw you did something. And that could be it.
And then you're fucked. Yeah.
And if they are quote unquote believable and you are not, for whatever reason, ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, it's fucking rough. And he clearly, like, he goes to this fucking camp and he didn't do shit.
Just for having shoes.
The shoes were literally
being in the presence of shoes that were stolen. And they're like, well, I mean, we don't believe that you just found them, so bye-bye.
And he's like, but I didn't. And they're like, well, you have them, so
exactly.
Oh well. And yeah, it's pretty fucked up, but it is a really clear I don't know, it shows what the real system is like. Satchar knew what he was fucking talking about.
Yeah, and the fact that he gets sentenced to 18 months at this camp, that's so long, especially for a teenager.
And he's like, I've never been to a lake, or I've never been to camp before. And I'm like, no! Like, he has no idea what he's in for.
Oh, it's also not lost on me now that this movie is set in Texas. Which I think is also sending a message. I think there's definitely a reason Louis Satchar chose Texas.
1 million. And you know what's cool? They filmed it, like, it's supposed to be set in Texas, but it was filmed in California, but also Red Rock Canyon.
I thought so.
Yeah. You can tell, right?
Yeah, the mountains are so beautiful.
There's parts of the movie where I'm like, was this filmed at Bonnie Springs?
Yeah.
You know, like
when they find the onions and stuff?
Yeah, and like just some of like the Western scenes. Like I'm like, that building looks fucking familiar. And if you guys don't know, but I'm pretty sure you do because I feel like I bring it up all the time. I worked there. It was like this little Western town.
Yeah, R.I.P. by the way, the millionaires fucking mowed it over to build their ugly ass McMansions.
As fucking usual, the people with money ruin fucking everything because, bro, I loved this little fucking town.
It was my favorite.
I loved it so
Every Halloween it would be Bonnie Screams. And I was obsessed with it. And Shay worked at Bonnie Screams.
I did. I just told this story to someone recently and they're like, what the fuck haven't you done, dude? Oh, I told Brian. And he was like, what? I was an actor in one of their like little shows. And I was dressed up as a zombie in like outside of this little town. It was like in the desert outside of the town, and they would drive buses with they lined with fucking paintball guns, and buses would come by every 5-10 minutes and just like shoot the fuck out of us. And it was
because they were dressed as zombies.
Yeah, and so it was like, okay, we're bringing you to this area where it's like infiltrated with zombies, and you have to
kill them.
You have to kill them.
So American.
So they're literally shooting us.
Yeah. I'm sure you saw a very ugly side of human nature.
Okay, have I brought this up before?
I don't think so.
Okay, if I have, I'm sorry.
If you have, this is such a great thing. You need to hear it again.
Okay, so
and by great I mean horrifying.
It actually is so horrifying. So I would wear. I bought scrubs from a thrift store because I was like, this will be easy to get on and off. I can get like oversized so that I can line myself with newspaper, which I did for maybe 2 nights. And then I was like, this is too much. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to go in raw and like fuck it.
Which also, and coincidentally, is how people in prison guard against being shanked.
Newspaper?
They line their clothing with magazines or newspapers.
So
you were doing the most.
Street smarts, baby. I don't know where I got that either, but yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. If I get welts, whatever. And like, honestly, it's like one of those things where you get like a hickey or a bruise and you're kind of like, I feel badass. Like, I was just like, I don't care anymore. I like the welts. And at a certain point, the pain was like fun. Except, I noticed that whenever I wore my hair down, and this is when I had super long hair, like it was down to my ass, like really, really long. I noticed that when I had my hair down, I got shot at more, and not just regularly like in the chest or in the arms or whatever, like men would shoot me in the vagina.
I am forever haunted by this observation.
And it really like, it truly horrified me because I was like, this is not like, there's no mistaking this. When I have my hair up and it's in like a little helmet thing and no one can tell, they just like shot me regularly.
Right, because you were wearing like kind of baggy stuff.
Yeah. But the only indicator that I was a woman, or so they thought, right? Like, I guess they didn't know.
But in their minds, long hair, woman.
Yeah. So I had long hair, and they were like, oh, okay. And I heard them, like, yelling, like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. And they would be like, Drrr.
Oh my
And it would hit me in my fucking crotch, dude. And I was like, I'm not getting hit in the crotch when my hair is up.
Oh, it's so disturbing.
It's truly horrifying. So then after that, I just wore my hair up all the time because I was like,
I can't take this anymore.
This fucking hurts and not in a good way. Like, this is weird.
And also psychologically damaging.
Yeah, I didn't like seeing that, and I didn't like hearing the things that they said to me. Like, people shouted horrible things to me specifically when I had my hair down, and it was, I'm sure, cathartic for them, but also really scary.
Yeah.
And luckily they didn't have like real guns because, like, dude, I bet if they did, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it was so fun.
And it was my first acting gig, paid acting gig.
It was, and it was like we got paid basically nothing. And at that time, I had 3 jobs, but it was so much fun. Like,
yeah, and imagine a very intense bonding experience for you all.
It was, and you know what's crazy too? So I used to be a zombie with this dude named Devin, and he was like, yeah, I'm doing the acting thing. Like, I'm trying to get into it, and like, I just really enjoy film. So this is kind of like my first like shot at it. And I was like, that's fucking cool. He's working with Chris Cranach now.
Oh, wow.
He's like I think he's one of the
world.
producers on Chris's new film.
Wow, Chris Cranach, a friend of the pod. You heard him on our Mulholland Drive episode.
Hell yeah. But I'm like, of course. Like, that's so weird.
That's so cool.
Such a
Good
cool
for
connection.
him.
But yeah, shouts out to you, Devin. You probably don't listen to this, but if you do, what's up? And yeah, it was a really fun time. But anyway, I do think maybe some scenes were filmed there because it is in Red Rock Canyon.
Could be.
So
and it'd be easy. They wouldn't have to build sets. It's just right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I recognize that building in like certain angles, and I was like, this is fucking weird. But yeah, it would be very cool. But anyways, so doink doink. My next note is that the 2 pigs for 1 daughter. Yikes.
Oh yeah.
That whole scene is so fucked. It's so sad.
And that is how it was.
What was that called? A dowry?
A dowry.
Ugh. They don't mention it in the movie, but yeah, it's a fucking dowry.
It's
gross.
like so twisted because at one hand it's like, I get to own a woman, but then on the other hand it's like, you also have to give her family stuff.
You're buying.
You're buying her.
You're like trading her.
Yeah, it's not good.
And it's like the father owns her, and now her husband owns her.
Own her. Like,
yeah, that part. There are some really disturbing parts of this movie. Let me just say.
I'll say it does go there.
It really does. And like, yeah, like when they said the onion picker, I was like, we know what you're saying.
Yes, for sweet Sam. Yeah, that's
was
why
in
I was
love
like,
with
my
Sam.
mind was blown. I was like, I can't believe we have like this racism subplot, and then we have this like, this like curse subplot with Eartha Kitt. I mean, shout out another icon.
God, I'm in love with Eartha Kitt. She's so fucking cool.
I want to hear her narrate everything.
Yzma. Did she passed away, right?
Yeah, like I think recently after that movie.
Really?
I think it was kind of the early 2000s. Let me check.
That fucking sucks because she's so gorge. She has one of the most unique voices I've ever heard. And also, if you guys don't know, Santa Baby was recorded by her first. So, that iconic song, you guys have to know. That was all Eartha, baby.
So she died in 2008.
Okay.
And I guess looks like Emperor's New Groove actually came out in 2000, which is earlier than I thought.
2000.
I think so.
Also such an iconic movie, and we have to do that one. It's so good.
One of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, 2000. Around Christmas, a Christmas movie.
Of course it has David Spade in it, baby. Gotta say. Anything with him is just like the fucking best. Yeah, and I literally wrote Eartha Kitt is such an icon, so we're on the same.
Yes. And I wrote this If Only song slaps.
I know.
Yeah, we even get like a little folk song. Like, what does not get delivered? We get it all.
There's just so much to even talk about in this movie. I'm sure we've already talked for an hour, but like it's so fucking good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, please just watch it. Like, the basic premise is that Stanley goes to Stanley Yelnats backwards, which I just love. He's found guilty of stealing shoes that literally dropped on his head.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to this work camp, and then all these different storylines start to interweave, and there's a big old twisteroni at the end, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it all revolves around the fact that, like, he believes that his family is cursed. So he's like, of course this would happen because our family is cursed.
And it says our no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandpa.
Mm-hmm. So you find out, like, the background story of that, and then, like she said, like, everything twists and turns, and you're like, wait a fucking second. And at, like, the very end, you're like, what? Like, it all comes together. That song is perfect for everything. But yeah. And I also wrote a note, why the fuck does Dr. Pendenski hate Zero so much?
He's such a little dick.
He hates him specifically so fucking much. I hate it.
We do find out he's not a real doctor.
Yeah, so Pendenski.
So we can't even be like, why does this counselor... He's not a real counselor.
No, why does this little
he's
bitch
a
boy
goddamn charlatan.
Yeah, he's a loser. So why does he hate Zero so much? Because Zero's so sweet. Maybe because Zero doesn't fall for his shit.
Zero doesn't participate in his stupid little games. And again, crushing dissent. Dissent must be crushed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great point. I was like, why him? Like, why? But now, yeah, that totally makes sense. Also, when Zero asked Stanley to teach him how to read, I was like, and Stanley's response was like, understandable, but it's fucking sad as fuck.
Or the moment when they're talking about, like, how they realize they grew up in kind of the same area, which is like kind of foreshadowing some other stuff. Mm-hmm. But Stanley goes, I love that park. I used to like play basketball there. And then Zero goes, yeah, I used to sleep in the bridge at the playground.
And then Stanley's just like,
but then I realized it also makes sense. I don't know if this is really pointed out in the book, but it's like, of course, Zero is able to thrive in these harsh environments more. Like, he's really been through it.
Yeah.
Like, he has suffered a lot. He has seen a lot of adversity.
Yeah, he grew
up
like,
I'm
in
gonna
an
dig these
orphanage.
holes. I'm gonna get through this time.
Yeah.
At one point he escapes into the desert and he's like, fine.
Yeah,
but it's like he's used to
I'm
living
figuring it out.
hard.
Yep, he really like figures it out, and it's sad because there's so many kids like that who have to just figure it out at like
that get literal survival skills.
Yeah, when you're
literal
like
survival.
10? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean?
How to find shelter, how to find water. Like,
when I was 10, I took one of those little red wagons, put a pillow in it with like a few apples, and I was like, I'm never coming back. And my mom was like, okay. And I came back like an hour later because I was like, I can't do this. Fucking insane. And Zero would have been able to like fucking survive and thrive somehow. Who knows? Like, it's just so sad. It's so horrible. But it's cute because Zero hella sticks up for Stanley, so they become really cool. And Stanley's like, alright, I'll teach you how to read. And that's kind of when their friendship starts forming, because Zero's like, yo, you know what? I'll help you dig your hole because I'm really good at digging my hole, so I'll help you with that. And then you teach me how to read. Boom.
Yeah, and Zero has a very iconic line where, again, Pendenski does not like that Zero's not playing his games. And so they're doing their little group therapy session, and he's like, okay, Zero, you think you're too good? Why do you think you're here? And he goes, I like digging holes.
Yeah! And I love the first time he ever talks is to Stanley. Because you're like, we've never heard him talk.
What else can you do, Zero? It's so cute.
He's just like, did they have red X's on him? And they're like, holy shit. Also, I can't remember his name, but he's like the Hispanic dude in the group. And like, there's one line that he says where he's just like, come on, little cloud. I know you can do it. Like, I love you. They're so cute. I love all those guys.
Very diverse cast as well.
Yeah. Like,
and, honestly probably reflects the prison population.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, they did a really good job of like casting this fucking movie.
Did you know that Frankie Muniz almost played Stanley?
Yes, and he turned it down because of Cody Banks.
Agent Cody Banks, which Brent and I recently rewatched it.
I need to watch it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
We should do it on the pod. I will just say this. The dialogue is absolutely horrendous. The worst things you've ever heard.
I knew it.
However, the plot and action, surprisingly, not only good, but like disturbing.
Ooh.
There's a scene where nanobots eat a man's body and they show him dying. And I was like, why is this in Agent Cody Banks?
That's crazy.
Like, I am shook.
Was it a Disney movie?
I think so, and now I'm wondering what it was rated, because I was like, that was straight up disturbing.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like maybe I did see it because I feel like I watched it in theaters. But maybe I'm like,
I mean,
I
probably
love
did
Frankie
get
Muniz.
and Hilary Duff.
Dude, I love Hilary Duff. Okay, that was probably at like the height of like right after Lizzie McGuire. I want to say.
Yeah, it was like she did her movie, and then
Lizzie McGuire movie.
This. Okay, it was rated. Why can I not figure this out easily? Hello. I'm on Common Sense Media, A Parent's Guide to Agent Cody Banks.
Ooh, A Parent's Guide.
It's rated PG. I'm telling you, that robot eating someone to death scene.
I definitely want to watch it because I feel like if it did come, I feel like I did watch it in theaters, but I don't know if it came out in theaters, but I feel like I saw it in theaters.
There's like a lot of explosions and like jump scares. Like, it's a good action movie. And then, the dialogue, he's like, smell you later. And it's
just like, Jesus. You know what's a great movie with him in it, though?
What?
Big Fat Liar.
Yes, with Paul Giamatti.
And also, there's another movie, and I can't remember the title of it right now, but it's like where he has cerebral palsy and he's in like a box streetcar race thingy.
Oh, Miracle on
like
something.
31st Street or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
but it's not the Christmassy one.
No.
It's some kind of miracle on some kind of street. But...
It's so good, dude. I fucking...
Also, Shia LaBeouf was in that movie where he played a kid with special needs and he killed it.
That is a fucking good movie.
I mean, he seems to suck now, but child actors, man.
Yeah, really, like, I'm sorry, but it's almost like everyone needs to take accountability for the actions and words that they say, but also
we all need to take accountability to what we do to these child stars.
Exactly.
Because it's got to be us at some point.
And clearly with his movie Honey Boy, which I haven't seen, or not, was it Honey Boy?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. His movie Honey Boy was like semi-autobiographical, and apparently I haven't seen it because I was just like, this seems like, I don't think my mental health can handle this right now, but it seemed really abusive, like from his dad pushing him into like stardom at a young age. Like when he started on Even Stevens, I'm pretty sure he was like 9 or 10.
Yeah, he was very young.
So, yeah. And then of course he is probably semi-narcissistic because I feel like all child stars are like, they're all hearing yes
during their most formative developmental period,
and they're getting so much money. A lot of the time they are the literal breadwinners for their family, so their families a lot of the time will just encourage them to do whatever they want because
it's too much for the little mashed potato brains to handle.
Dude, straight up. And then of course when they become adults, they're nuts. How could they not be, bro? Right. Literally, how could they not be? So I'm saying, like, the accusations against him are probably very true and they're horrible, but also we have to understand the psychology of what goes into it. The cycles
of abuse, as alluded to in the movie Holes.
Dun, 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 which Shia LaBeouf is in. Yeah. So it all just wraps right around, baby.
It's such a good movie.
It is so good.
And it has onions in it. Shout out to the onion eating contest at Trek.
And peaches. Like I put in our margs. I didn't even think about that, actually.
Onions and peaches, both very tasty. Not together.
True.
Ooh,
that was a good one,
good.
Baby. Well, apparently, onions and peaches are good together.
True, because the onions will keep the yellow spotted lizard from eating you.
Mm-hmm.
And peaches are just good.
They're just good
for the soul.
Baby. I need some sploosh right now.
There's recipes for it online.
What?
We should have made it for tonight.
You know what? We'll make it.
But we do have a little peach.
Yeah.
Our drinks.
Yeah, I made little margs for my wife and I. Usually, we like to make a little cocky tale before every episode, so it's pretty fucking good, I can't lie. There's some tahini, there's some lime, there's some honey, like pretty good. Okay, anyways, Sam was like, I'm good with my hands. I'm like,
oh my god, Sam is so hot.
I'm in love with him. I can
fix that. What a great line.
I'm like, dude, fix me, baby.
Yeah, I can be fixed.
I'm like, hey.
And then Trout is such a little asshole. Though apparently that actor died like right after filming.
Yeah, 6 months before they released the movie, he died in a car crash, dude. So they dedicated the movie to him.
And I just feel bad that his last role had to be like this hated racist villain.
Yeah,
that everybody hates.
But you know what? Usually, from what I've heard, like the coolest people play the best villains. So that's what I've heard anyway.
I've heard that too.
So he probably was just a really good actor. R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Also, their reciting of Annabelle Lee.
Yes. Who's that again? Is that Edgar Allan Poe?
I think it's Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. I'm like,
It's
Edgar Allan
you
Poe?
know poetry? Yes.
And he just knew it by heart?
Uh-huh.
Also, my grandmother's name was Annabelle, so shouts out Annabelle. Love you.
But yeah, that whole plot line, when I was a kid even, I was like, wait, what? Like, I was almost in denial that they were going to go there.
I know.
There's a freaking lynching scene. That's where this movie goes.
Yes. And it's because Sam is fucking black, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hello. It's horrible. And then they just shoot him because he's escaping.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, that's another concept I didn't even get into that this movie gets into, and the idea of, we call it in the biz mitigation, but it's kind of what you see with Kate Barlow's story. Like, you find out why she does the things she does.
Yeah.
And it's not an excuse for her killing people.
No.
But you can understand why. It's an explanation.
Yeah, she's like, fuck all these people. The love of my life got fucking iced. So
An extrajudicial killing.
Yeah, so I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, which is like not cool.
Kill people and rob people. Yeah,
Like,
not the
just straight
best
looting.
coping strategy.
No, and then kissing them, which is also just fucked on a
She'd
different
have
level.
kissed him, she'd have killed him.
Pretty badass,
that line.
but fucked.
And then when she's like, at her last scene, when she's like, I'm so tired, Sam.
I know. She like sees
It's
him.
so sad. It's like, I can't, like,
I was
again,
crying so hard.
where this movie goes is just like, what?
No, I was
I
crying.
didn't cry at that. I mean, I got a little emotional, but I got super emotional when Stanley starts carrying Zero up the mountain.
Yes.
I was like,
I know.
so sweet.
And if you haven't seen the movie, you just need to, because you'll understand why him carrying him up the mountain and them drinking the water and him singing the song, like how that all goes back.
Broke a generational curse.
It's wild. It's so good. And also how sweet Stanley is to Twitch, the dude that replaced Zero and Zero
he's
ran
being
away.
much nicer.
Yeah, he was just saying like, hey, the first hole is always the hardest, and just being so nice to him. And I'm like, "Aw, so sweet. And then, dude, they went heavy because what was his name? I don't remember his name now. Fuck. But like one of the campers was like, yeah, maybe my mom will stop drinking and my dad will come home. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, that's Zigzag. And did you
Zigzag.
know that he sings the deep ass country voice in the Digging Holes song?
Yes. You got to go and dig those holes.
That is
He
like
looks
a
like it.
teenage boy.
Yeah, he's fucking lit, dude. Like, and he's tall. I
He's
looked up his
very
height.
tall.
Hello?
That's why his voice is so deep. It's like,
Yeah.
jeez.
He was like a grown man at like whatever, like 15 or whatever the fuck. He was like 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm like, holy
With, like,
shit.
this deep ass country ass voice.
It's-
You gotta go
Dig those holes. Also,
did you know that song was produced by Dr. Dre?
no.
Yes.
Wait.
I promise you. The D-Tent Boys.
No fucking
That's why it's so
way.
good.
I can't believe that.
And if you all don't know, if you haven't heard the song, then you were not conscious during the Disney Channel era because they played
Bro.
it all the time.
And why?
Or sorry, yeah, no, Disney.
Yeah. And why wouldn't they? It was so good. They played that and Hilary Duff's I Can't Wait. I Can't Wait.
I don't remember that one actually.
Oh, okay. Well, it was in the last episode of Lizzie McGuire.
Okay.
And I can't wait for the world to spin. I can't wait to be up again.
Well, you're singing it way better than
What's
Hilary
gonna
Duff.
take- I don't know about that. I
will
loved her.
say when I listen to her music now, I'm like, wow.
I mean, she didn't have the best voice, but goddamn, was
Sounds
she
very,
so
how we
cool.
say, computer modulated.
How do you say it? Yeah, no.
Like, let's go back. Like, I'm sensing a lot of manipulation here.
Yeah, but a fucking badass music video.
Yes.
That music video, one of my favorites of all time.
It's
probably.
very cool. It's very cool.
So good. But those are basically my notes, except for I also wrote that Shia LaBeouf's yelling voice is equal to Adam Sandler's yelling voice for me because it reminds me so hard of Even Stevens. Like,
Yes,
Zero!
yes, yeah.
So
It's kind of like hoarse.
yeah, like
Yeah.
just zero. Like, I don't know. I just love it so
He's
much.
such a good actor.
He is, dude. It's fucking crazy. I just recently watched his movie Peanut Butter Falcon as well.
Never even heard of it.
So it's with him, and then I don't know the other actor's name, but he has Down syndrome.
Oh, okay.
And also Dakota, what's her name?
Fanning?
Not Fanning, but
Johnson?
yeah. So it's the three of them. They're like the main characters, and also randomly, is it Yellow Wolf?
Oh, okay. The white southern rapper?
Yeah, it might be him.
Yellow Wolf.
I think it is him, but anyway, they're all starring. It's so fucking good. Oh my god, it's so good. You need to see it.
Okay.
It's so fucking good, and it made me cry. Obviously, you guys, I'm just such a fucking cry. I'm a sappy ass baby,
Little
bitch.
crybaby.
I'm a crybaby. It says so on my phone.
That's right. That's how you know it's real.
Shout out to Chantal. She got me the sticker.
Yeah, it's so cute.
But anyway, highly recommend. Like, everything he fucking does is so good. Like, that's what sucks about him being kind of like, he seems kind of shitty in his later years. He's just so talented.
Yeah, he kills it. And I also felt Sigourney Weaver
Bruh.
is like playing this like she wants a goddamn Oscar nomination.
I know.
Like, just incredible.
Oh, she was so
Giving it her all.
and it's so believable when she's just like, just show me what's in the, because if you guys don't know, they find a treasure, blah blah blah. It has Stanley's name on it. It's pretty fucking sick. But anyway, she's been searching for this her whole fucking life, and she was traumatized, which it goes back to.
Lots of generational trauma.
And I guess I never realized, which is interesting until this time around, that so when Kissing Kate Barlow is like, she's about to fucking die, and Trout comes with his wife, who happens to be, she was one of her students. That's fucking no, that's Sigourney Weaver's fucking grandma.
Yeah.
And they look alike, and I never put it together.
You're like, what?
Yeah, I don't know why I never put that together.
Amazing.
So fucking good.
And she just plays such like a good, sassy, confident, like you can tell she's in it for one reason and one reason only. She's
very
obsessed.
tunnel visioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how could she not be? If this is all she was like brought up to look for, the only goal in her whole family's life, and then she's like, okay, well, this will fix everything for me too. So sad.
Yeah, she's got as Tolkien would say, the treasure sickness. It's a concept he introduced for greed.
The ring.
Well, dragons actually.
Oh, dragons.
Yeah, it's mostly in The Hobbit.
Like dragons had greed?
Yeah, so they're like Smaug the dragon. Part of the reason he's evil is because he has all his treasure and he doesn't use it. Like he just literally sits on it. And they say he gets like entranced by the treasure and he becomes treasure sick. And then the dwarves come to try to take it back, and then their leader gets treasure sick and he starts just like obsessing over the money and the gold, and he's just like, no, we can't spend it, I just want to keep it. And they're like,
That
we're
makes
trying
so
to
much.
like rebuild here.
Dude, that's such good symbolism for fucking
yeah.
people that hoard wealth. That's wild.
Yeah.
Tolkien, so brilliant.
He's so great.
So brilliant.
I love him. I have a few more notes.
Yeah, please.
I was dying laughing when they find the little lipstick tube.
Yes.
And it says KB. And they're like, what do you think it stands for? And Zigzag goes, Keith Barringer. And they go, who's that?
You
And
in
he
my
goes,
math class?
he's in my math class. They're like, what?
That shit was so good.
It was so good.
I used to be obsessed with all of these dudes because they were all
Yes.
funny and so sweet. Like even Armpit, who like obviously is like quote unquote like the smelly character and he never showers and blah blah blah. I loved him too. I love all these fucking guys. They're so cute and so funny.
Oh, and one last thing that I forgot to mention in my list of things that this movie points out that's actually accurate about prison culture is the gladiator kid fighting. So, like, when the kids start fighting and Pendanski's like, oh, yeah, just let it out. Let's see who wins. Like, there are so many examples of juvenile facilities facilitating fights amongst the students, or not even students, the kids, and, like, taking bets on them and training them to fight. Like, it's entertainment.
Literal gladiator shit.
It happens at adult prisons too, but it's kind of disturbing how often it happens at places for children.
Oh, that's too disturbing.
Particularly the California Youth Authority. They were like rampant and did it all the time.
I'm horrified. I had
So I was
no
like,
idea.
wow, that's another one that I'm seeing.
See, Stacey always talks about the what is it? The industrial
Prison industrial complex.
dude. Yeah, where there's like a pipeline from fucking children in school.
Oh, the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, that's something else.
Oh yeah.
But I will say that like it's an interesting twist on for-profit prisons to make it like this warden's like insane desire for treasure.
Yeah.
But it's like she doesn't care about these kids. She's
No.
like, she's in it for monetary gain.
Which is also kind of like the foster care system.
Can be, yeah, sadly.
Really, really sad.
It is wild that like if you don't have the money to take care of your kids, they might be taken away from you, and then we'll pay
Yeah.
strangers money.
Yeah. to
We won't give
watch
you the
that.
money.
Yeah.
But we'll give it to someone else.
Right, because that makes fucking sense. Anyways, we could really go on and on.
But it's just such an incredible movie.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna bring up Brink again, but can we just take a pause and appreciate how deep and good this film is?
It is.
And then think back to Brink.
I still love Brink.
And maybe understand why I was a little underwhelmed, shall we say?
Listen, I think both are great for different reasons. This one is better in a much deeper, much more
Aesthetically, script, character development,
and
plot.
Yeah, and also I need to bring up, because I told Stacy this, because I deep dove into because I was like,
oh my god, yes!
I'm like, why would they say 1865 for Brink? Like, why would they say it's based off an 1865
And we thought for
story?
sure that was a mistake.
It fucking isn't.
It's not a mistake.
It's literally based off a fucking, I think, a novel that was written in the fucking 1800s.
Yeah, 1865, I think, which is when the Civil War was happening.
Yeah, and they were talking about, like, skating and,
Hans and the Silver Skates.
Yeah, I'm like, Stacy, this shit is fucking real. It was really in the 1800s.
And his name was Hans Brinkerman or something, so that's where they got the name Brink and made him skate. And I'm just like, what is happening?
I'm like, bro, and it's been, like, I guess when Disney, Disney Channel first started technically, like, the Walt Disney Company, where, like, Walt Disney would get on and talk about his plans for, like, Disneyland and shit like that long ago. Yeah, they had, like, a TV special about it, and I feel like they've just owned the rights for a really long time.
Yeah, I guess so.
So then they're like, hey, let's make a modern day 90s version of this fucking story. Insanity.
So strange.
And so funny.
Who would have thought a Norwegian ice skater would lead us to Eric Von Detten?
Eric Von Detten. Well, Eric Von Detten. The movie.
None your business. I'll never get over that. In the background. Like, what is happening?
I was listening back to that episode and I was laughing at that part so hard. But Eric Von Detten, that's also like a very
Norwegian.
Fits in. But anyways, I hope you guys go back and watch Holes.
If you have not watched it, do not walk.
Yeah, or if you haven't watched it for a long time, because I hadn't watched it for a while. And I'm so glad I watched it again. And I could probably watch it every week.
It's so good.
It's so good, and it just makes you feel all the emotions, and like it has such a feel good ending that you feel good about watching it, unlike a lot of other movies, you know.
Yeah, it does have a very unrealistic portrayal of how the justice system works, but I'll save that for another day. It's nice that in this movie it all ends well.
Exactly. It feels so nice at the end, and you're just like the part that made me cry the most really quick was when Zero reunited with his mom. Yes. I was like bawling because I forgot how sweet that is. But also, he had to hire hella private investigators in order to find her. That's also real.
Yeah.
Fucked.
Yeah, once people fall through the cracks and people experiencing homelessness are not exactly trackable.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. But anyway, it's a really good ending. Hope you guys watch it. And again, thanks to Cody for recommending it.
I love this pick.
We
love Brink too. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. Again, Stacy, it's not her favorite fucking movie, and that's okay. But
or
she's smiling. She's smiling so big.
Well, I have some trivia questions for you.
Oh hell yeah!
I think a couple of them might be a little tough.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Number 1. How long was Stanley sentenced?
18 months.
Nailed it. Number 2, you'll get this one. Name 2 of the nicknames of the D-Tent boys.
Hell yeah. Okay. The first 2 that pop up are X-Ray and Armpit.
Love it. Okay. This one's a little tougher.
Okay.
How many spots do yellow-spotted lizards have?
It's either 8 or 9? 7?
It's neither.
7?
More.
11?
Yes.
Okay.
They say if you get up close, they each have 11 spots. They're like, but then you'll die.
Right, because there's... Okay. Yeah.
You'll know this one. Okay. What's the secret ingredient in sploosh?
Well, it's peaches and onions. Bye-bye.
I think just peaches. I don't think she puts onions in it.
Oh, when you said secret ingredient... Oh, Well,
not a... Well,
the sploosh, the product...
I guess I was referring to when Zero finds it, and he's like, it's sploosh.
Oh, yeah.
And then they drink it.
Okay, it's just peaches, because that's what Kate Barlow made. But if you're talking about the product that they come out with, the secret ingredient,
right. It's a little combo, right?
Yeah, it's peaches and onions, and it helps stinky feet be not stanky anymore.
No more stank.
No more stank.
Okay, number 5. What's the secret ingredient in the nail polish that the warden uses?
Rattlesnake venom.
Yes, and what a scene. She backhands that motherfucker.
And his face is fucked.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, ooh, rattlesnakes, yawn.
Little story about that. Apparently, Louis Satcher's daughter was like super freaked out and scared to the point where I think they considered taking it out because they thought it might be too scary. But I'm glad they kept it.
I'm glad that they didn't. Yeah, I'm glad that they kept it.
And I have a bonus question for you.
Oh shit. Okay.
Can you sing the first verse of the If Only song?
Of course.
Me, 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 me.
I have like a little tuner. If only the woodpecker sighed, the bark on the tree was as soft as the skies. Something cried out,
below,
hungry and lonely. He cries to the moon, if only, if only.
Perfect.
Thank you. I thought you were gonna ask me about digging it, and I was like, I know every fucking verse.
Oh, I knew that. I thought this was the less likely song you would know.
No, I love that song.
You killed
so pretty.
it. All right, should we find a personality test to close
Oh my
on?
god, I hope it's like, which kid are you? That would
Which
make me so
D10
happy.
boy?
Oh my god, that'd make me so happy.
I hope there's an actual like on point quiz for this one.
Me too, because sometimes they're a little sus.
Yes. Yep, BuzzFeed. It's time to find out which
then you're
Holes
right.
character you are. All right.
Holy shit.
Are you ready?
I'm so excited. Okay.
Wait, hold on. I just pressed something on the keyboard. Let me make sure we're still recording.
Okay.
La 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 la.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Ooh la la. Okay, we're good. All right. Which word describes you? Smart, hardworking, loyal, friendly.
Loyal.
Loyal to her soil. Would you save a friend if it might cost your life? No. Yes. I'd have to think about it. Maybe.
Hard yes.
Hard yes. If you were stranded with no food, would you eat a mysterious plant? Yes. Only a little. No. I don't know.
I would eat a little to test it out, for sure. See how it makes me feel.
Got it. Describe your best friend. Oh,
Gorgeous.
Sorry, I got distracted and I was like, I need to read the answers.
I'm like, gorgeous,
Nice,
funny, sexy.
thoughtful, lively, mysterious.
Wait, what are they again? Sorry.
Nice, thoughtful, lively, mysterious.
So many of these. I'm going to say lively.
Lively. I like
Such
that.
a glorious.
You are 0. You're a shy and quiet person. Okay. When people get to know you, they realize you're caring and loyal. I don't like the implication that those are different things.
I know, wait. Also, fun fact, my friend dated him.
Really?
Yeah. One of Eris's best friends, who's the homegirl, her name's Katie, she dated him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nuts, huh?
I think he now raps, right? Or does music or something?
Yeah, he does, and then he's also, I believe he's like a Twitch streamer, like he plays games and shit. And he also cosplays as fucking, Powerline, which is fucking
really?
cool. Yeah.
Wow, throwback to previous episode.
Hell yeah, go back and listen to Goofy Movie, baby. Okay, I want to do it too.
Okay.
Which word describes you? Smart, hardworking, loyal, friendly.
Hardworking.
That's so true. And she's smart and loyal and friendly. Would you save a friend if it might cost your life?
Yes.
No. It's so funny. If you were stranded with no food, would you eat a mysterious plant? Yes, only a little, no, or I don't know.
IDK. I don't know.
I don't know how
I
you
need more
feel.
information.
I don't know how I'd feel.
Is
in
it
that
glowing?
moment.
Does it look tasty? Is it a cacti? What are we talking about?
True. Regardless, I'd probably just eat a little bit just to see what's up. Describe your best friend. Nice, thoughtful, lively, or mysterious?
I'm going to put thoughtful.
Yeah. I was between those two.
THOT. You know what
You're
I'm
the
saying?
warden.
Oh, no.
This is not true at all.
Oh, my God.
You're very impatient, which isn't a
Wow.
bad thing.
No, I kind of am.
It just, well, not in my experience, but, which isn't a bad thing. It just makes you strong-willed and determined to succeed.
I am strong-willed
She
and
is.
determined to succeed.
She is, but I wouldn't say you're impatient. I would never say that.
I kind of am.
Well, I don't know.
When I want something, I want it yesterday.
I mean, when it comes to the important stuff like cheese and
Yeah.
things like that. Like,
Give me that cheese, dig it. Give me that cheese, dig it.
Oh. Oh, well, anyways, yeah, hope you guys take that BuzzFeed quiz. Let us know what your results are. I had so much fun recording this episode.
Yeah, sorry we're all over the place. We just love holes.
We love all the holes. You know? No, but we fucking love this movie. We love the book. And we'll holla at you if Louis Sachar gets back to fucking Stacy.
I hope he does.
But we love you as always, and thanks so much again to Cody for recommending this movie. Can't wait till next week.
And next week is gonna be Nacho Libre.
That was sexy. Okay, yeah, we have to end on that high note because that was fucking incredible.
We love you.
We love you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Come with us where the corn is popped and Throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play. So hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster.